can sound like Paul is teaching law keeping as the path to justification. But that would directly contradict Romans 3, where Paul says no one will be justified by works of the law. Aquinas resolves this pretty elegantly, I think. He points out that Paul isn't teaching that justification comes from law keeping as a self-salvaging mechanism. Paul is making a different point. Mere hearing doesn't make you righteous. The Jew who hears the law every Sabbath but ignores it isn't justified just by virtue of hearing. The point is to puncture pride in privilege. External religion without interior conversion is hypocrisy. In other words, Paul is rejecting passive religiosity, not establishing works-based salvation. He's saying you can't just have the law as a badge. You must actually live the truth God has revealed. And ultimately, that living happens through Christ and by the Spirit, as Paul will spend the next 10 chapters explaining. So let's read on. Romans 2:14-15. When the Gentiles who do not have the law by nature observe the prescriptions of the law, they are a law for themselves. They show that the demands of the law are written on their hearts, while their conscience also bears witness. You see, Paul is universalizing his point. Whether you're Jewish with the Mosaic law or a Gentile with the moral law written on your heart, the same standard applies. Hearing isn't enough. Living in alignment with truth is what matters. But again, the actual living that justifies is only possible through grace. Then Paul pivots in Romans 2:25-29. He tackles circumcision head on. He says circumcision has value if you observe the law, but if you break it, your circumcision becomes uncircumcision. In other words, the external sign means nothing without an internal reality. And then verse 28-29, one is not a Jew outwardly. True circumcision is not outward in the flesh. Rather, one is a Jew inwardly, and circumcision is of the heart in the spirit. You see, this is the move. Paul is shifting from external ritual observance to internal transformation, from the letter to the spirit, from the badge to the bond. And this prepares us for chapter 3, where it all comes together.